right hand, left hand, and I don't think he's going to get up. I think it's all over. I think it's over. Is he going to get up? Can he get up? Can he get up? He does. Oh my goodness. Somehow Fury has managed to get up.
If you haven't already, please also subscribe to us on Apple, Spreaker and Spotify. Just type in Brawl Boxing and you'll find us there. Thank you. I just want to start by giving a shout out to our amazing sponsor, CBD Uplift. They provide the best CBD products on the market, including oil, gummies and capsules. I've actually tried the products myself and I can genuinely say they're the best CBD I've ever had, especially the gummies. I'd seriously recommend anyone. If you use our discount code BRAWL20, you'll get 20% off and free shipping. So thanks a million, lads. Violent Gentleman, the newest and fastest growing boxing-inspired training/casual wear brand established in Northern Ireland. Violent inside the ropes, a gentleman outside of them. Behave accordingly. Check out their website, www.violentgent20.com, and all of their socials. Facebook, ViolentGent20, Twitter, ViolentGent20, and Insta, ViolentGentleman20. Thank you.
Heavy hitters punch bags are great for improving your technique as they're soft on your hands, which allows you to train longer and harder with less damage compared to a traditional punch bag. The product is great for building strength and fitness, and is fast becoming a favourite piece of equipment in many gyms up and down the country in improving their members' cardio. For any gym owners listening, one of the advantages to heavy hitters is that they can be used outside in fair weather and can be easily wiped down compared to larger traditional boxing equipment. These are obviously two massive advantages in the current climate that we all find ourselves in. Heavy hitters sell the product in 3 different sizes, meaning that they can accommodate to every customer's practical needs and abilities. If you check out their website today and use the code BRAWL20, you'll get 20% off all orders over £50. Personally, for us, heavy hitters have sent me and the lads a punch bag each, and I can't vouch for the product enough. It's so handy to set up and a great way to release some of the stresses of your everyday life. Definitely go and have a look on their website. You won't be disappointed.
Hello, folks, and welcome back to the Brawl Boxing Podcast. I'm Kieran McCourt, and I'm joined by co-hosts Colin McGuigan and Ram McLaughlin.
We'd like to dedicate this episode to Jay Moffat from Tullylish Boxing Club, who tragically died last week. Our thoughts are with his friends and family at this time. So, guys, we're very excited about this next guest. Next week, we have the much-anticipated Féile card here in Belfast, and we have the main man behind it all. Pleased to welcome Jamie Conlan. Jamie, how are you doing, mate?
Oh, good, lads, all good. I'm not the main man. Like, Mick is the main man. He's the one fighting. I'm not
No, you're the brains behind the operation. Like.
Look at Lloyd talking to Ari there. No, Ari, give me your promotion.
In the back pocket mid.
before we get into the boxing, Jimmy, you had another girl, didn't you, this month? How's this sleepless nights been going?
It's dreadful, mate. It's bad. It's the worst timing for it. You know, everything that's going on with the show. It's non-stop, and then just throw in a baby girl and a middle child who's only 1, who's just going temper tantrums because of it and stuff. So it's brilliant, but
you've been a busy man since retirement, haven't you? Like, geez, three. What is it? All girls as well?
All girls since I retired. All girls.
Are you pushing for that son, like, or?
No. Like, if I say I was disappointed to have another girl, but like there was no hip hip hooray when it was weird. It was mental. So the missus had to get a section and says, "You know what you're having?" No, okay. Doctor lifts the baby out, half out. You see everything. Like, you're going, "What the fuck? What's going on?" He lifts the arm of the baby, going, "Hello." Like, oh my God. Never met anything. Like, you're just in shock. You're going, just worried everything's going to be okay, just panicking, and then it's the arm of the baby. Was like,
you know, like being sort of in boxing, and like especially when you were fighting, how does the stress compare of like having kids? Is it like just totally different, or is it like same in some ways?
No, it's totally different. It's totally different. I don't know. One thing it stuck by me is you panic or you worry every day, and it was my own dad told me that you, like, from the moment you're having the baby, you're worrying everything's going to be okay to have the baby. Then you have the baby, and then you're worried every day that the baby's going to be okay, and you're just. But lucky enough, my three kids are class. Like, they're resilient enough. Like, they fall and they bang their heads and they run about and they get up and keep going. But class.
Mexicans.
Like to announce that Column's actually having a kid coming next January.
Absolutely not true, and would like to refute all those claims.
You have to have sex to have a kid. Calvin's no.
That's shocking. My girlfriend's dad listens to this. I apologize in advance.
I'll edit this out. We won't. Jamie, talking of sleepless nights, how have the last few weeks and months been? Has it been more stressful than 2 years ago?
It has. I gotta be honest. I thought once we got 2 years ago over, I remember the relief being unreal, and then thinking it'll be easier now going forward. If we, all the companies that you're working with, everything in terms of planning of the site, everything set up on the site. So you kind of have all the logistics aspect of things covered. Boxing side of things, you should know. And there's always a curveball then, someone pulling out or a change of opponent or failing a medical or something like that. But the added pressures of doing everything in a pandemic and dealing with how we have to adapt to do live events, being the first live event, the first live sporting event with a capacity crowd and no social distancing in place. We had to leave things at the very last minute to make sure everything was going to go ahead. In doing so, we lost our canopy company contract, had to renegotiate a new contract with a different company who, when I spoke to Matchroom, there only is one canopy company. We had to then outsource a different canopy company who'd never done a boxing event. So then having to go over that with them, it's been a bit crazy, if I'm honest. And then handling all that logistics side and event setup side on my jack this year is a lot tougher as well, because we're a week out, so I can't let out that I don't know what I'm fucking talking about half the time, but hopefully they don't listen to Brawl Boxing. Listen, it's class though, I have to be honest. It's stressful, it's a lot of pressure, it's a lot of expectation on your shoulders to make sure everything goes ahead, but you wouldn't want it any other way, because it's yours. You have autonomy of everything that's going on, from the color of a poster, to how you want stuff going out, to the start time of the building of the seats, to who's going to be ring walking at certain times, and so on and so forth. So it's good, but it's just making sure you don't miss on anything, and that's kind of the small wee added stresses than the previous year.
How does it compare to so whenever you were fighting, and then comparing it to promoting now and managing, how does that compare? Because the stresses are so different, and you have to manage 101 things now. But then really the ultimate goal whenever you're fighting is just to win the fight. But the stress must be even more at that point, or what way is it?
When you're fighting, and when you have a sole goal that you need to achieve, you're able to control the controllables, basically. So I know I'm going to fight him on the 6th of August. I know it's going to be 10 rounds, and I know I have to make a certain weight. That's all I need to know. I prepare for that. With promoting or managing and everything else that's entailed in this project, there is so many things out of my control. I'm relying on a seating company to set up at a certain time, the canopy company to come in at that time, boxers to make weight, boxers to pass medicals, people to agree on certain things, and just add it on. So it's about being able to micromanage a wee bit, let other people control what they can control, and just overseeing things and so on and so forth. So some things are already controlled, which in my being a control freak makes me fucking sit at night, have a wee book beside my bed. So because when you're on the bed, you think of last minute thoughts. And I think of mad things before I go to bed. So I wake up.
We all do, Jimmy. We all do.
Well, some people think of dirty things, but I think mad things.
I had a dream I was on a double date with Justin Bieber last night. So I mean, it could be worse.
Who was the other two fellas?
Mick and Arthur Gordy Shore.
But no, it's class. I have to be honest. It is. In terms of when you're involved in boxing and being a boxer and having a life after boxing, and then still doing something you've loved since you were 7-8 years of age, I couldn't ask for anything better.
As a fighter, where would you've fought in big Belfast cards? We're 9 days out now. It's Wednesday, fights next Friday. How would you be feeling right now?
You're grand. I spoke to Michael and Nate about this moment. within training, within your camp, within the preparation. It's a weird moment. So the hard work is done, the hard rounds of sparring is done, most of the weight cutting, the strenuous weight cutting is done, and it's all about your main, not letting your main race and over analyze and over assess and over big up the obstacle at hand. Like, so it's a mental battle now. Mainly I would have been probably playing Madden just non-stop and not speaking to anyone. I was always down making the weight, so I would have been not thinking about the fight, just trying to distract myself as much as I can. Whereas, and then at night time you have a wee bit of self-reflection and mental preparation that way. But you're in a weird place right now. It's like the eye of the storm. You know, in 9 days, no matter what I do, I'm going to have to fight someone. It's fucked up. If you really sit down and think of it, Matt, you've probably had a fight in school, have you? So,
Yeah.
Oh, I played.
How many times have you had a fight in school whereas at 9 o'clock someone's come in and says, McCourt, you're fucking getting it at 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So you're sitting 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock thinking, I'm fighting somebody.
Here, I've actually got a great story on this. It's actually a cracker to come to the podcast. Never has. McCourt knows I'm going to say. Our friendship actually came about because this is a funny story. Like, right, me and McCourt went to the same school. He's 2 years younger than me. And I remember, like, it was, I don't know what age we exactly were, but he'd said something or done something, like he's 2 years younger than me. And I wrote them on Bebo at the time. And I said, tomorrow morning, McCourt, 9 o'clock, you're getting it. I was like, me and you, that's it, 9 o'clock. And he was like he's 2 years younger than me, remember? And he replied, slabbering or something, over back and forth a couple of times. And then I said, right, see you in the morning, 9 o'clock. Honestly, it was about 11 o'clock at night. I went to sleep, or put my head down or something. My door went down. McCourt standing there. He was going, me and you right now. At my door, like he was only like, I think he was like 13, I was 15.
All his man all came down, like that's the first time I'd met your man as well. I know.
Yeah, he was at my door and he was like, me and you right now. And I was like, I'm gonna do this like in front of my man. And then my man came down and was like, and then we ended up walking to school the next day and ended up
best mates ever since. Literally best mates ever since.
I just been left out of this basement. Jimmy, what's happening, lad?
Long story short, Colin shit himself.
Basically.
From a fella 2 years younger than him.
He tried to be the bully.
You see Colin McGuigan, he shit himself last night. In her night dress and got him and all that. Best friends that he had. Like,
it was the weirdest thing ever. Like, literally, however we sorted it that night, and he was like, "Here, you walking to school tomorrow, by the way." So we did meet at 9 the next day, but it was not for a scrap.
It wasn't for a scrap. Whatever he said to me, it really annoyed me, and I just wanted to scrap him there and then when we walked to school, we were straight.
I've not committed this story well.
It's a cracking story. I just had to tell it.
It is indeed, like, but if you ever offer someone a fight again and they put it on you.
He's given the big one. He thought, I'm going to come out of this. I was the one that instigated the fight. I want them.
Yeah, at the time.
Tomorrow morning, McCourt comes to him an hour later and he shits himself and he's like, that sounded better in my head.
The whole time when I was listening to that, I was picturing Colin as Nelson Muntz from The Simpsons and Bart waiting to get in. It seems something like a Nelson Muntz.
In Colin's defense, I've seen him knock out
your Millhouse,
so he made it up. He saved his reputation a few years later. But what you were saying, getting back to what you were saying about like knowing that you have to fight someone, also the added fact on that, like, they're doing it, they're doing it 8 or 12-week training camp focused on you, and they're already fucking trained killers. Like, let's be honest, they're professional boxers. Mm-hmm. Can you think about that, or do you just have to focus on yourself, or would it depend on the boxer?
It comes with the territory. It's some boxers, that's where you see people freezing like a deer in the headlights because they've already. I think every boxer fights the fight 1,000 times in their head, maybe more. Every night you go to sleep, you fight the fight. You're hoping you win it every time in your head. If you don't win it in your head, you're fucked. But that's kind of you're building up, and listen, I've done it myself. You overanalyze and you big up your opponent more than what he really truly is until you get in there. I'm sure it's the same playing football and all, Brian. But it's like it's very hard. I think it's what separates. It's one of the aspects that separates actual fighters, whether it be MMA, boxing, any other, when it's a one-on-one combat sport, knowing that you're going to fight each other and still going through, even though you're shit scared inside, because we all are. We put off a fake face. So that's kind of, it takes a lot of courage and guts to get in there and do it. And that's what 85, 90% of the average Joe would just say, fuck it. I'm going to go shake hands with my court at 9 o'clock in the morning and walk to school with him instead of fighting him. That's a severance, you know what I mean? So McCourt,
you know what? You have to rate it. I was a lover.
Family. That was Wickman family. I don't know what's going on there. Like,
I was a lover, not a fighter, lads.
Yeah. No, but I get you
100%. Go ahead, Ron.
Oh, I get you 100% because people don't realize unless you play like proper competitive sport, it's the fear of being embarrassed in front of people that like makes you scared. So like the bigger the occasion, I know like before you go into it, you always big up the person, like you said. Like if I was playing against the left winger, I'd think I'm up against Ronaldo. So I'd be like fucking think to myself, right, he can't blitz me, he just can't do me down the line, blah blah. It's probably the same for obviously boxing. It's just that fear of being embarrassed more than anything that sort of eats away at you every night leading up to it.
I think it's embarrassment, probably an added aspect of it, but it's the fear of the unknown.
Yeah.
When you're going in for a job interview, you have no clue what you're going in for, but you're only going to talk to someone, but you're absolutely shitting yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, most people, you're going in, you haven't got a clue. You go to a dentist, people are scared to go to a dentist because they don't know what's going to happen. It's the fear of the unknown. And the other aspect of the unknown is you can get knocked flat on your back in front of 25,000 people live and many around the world. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely another aspect and an added element to the pressures and stresses of being a professional boxer.
Yeah, I think as well, like if I was like a Andre Ward sort of Floyd Mayweather like technician where you're hit, you don't get hit, you can understand why like you maybe not be as nervous. But if I was like a fucking Gatti, Jamie Conlan, Tyrone McKenna, where you know next Friday I'm in a guaranteed like I'm gonna take fucking serious blows to the head and the body, that would make me nervous as fuck. I can't lie. Like,
see, they probably think the exact same thing. Like an Andre Ward and all, it's mad. I know we differentiate between fighters, but in the end of the day, you're in there for 36 minutes, no matter who you are, and the ring is only 20 foot. How you go about doing your business is.
Do you really think Floyd Mayweather goes into the ring and thinks that he's going to take an absolute batter in the same way?
No.
It's the what if. He doesn't know truly what's going to happen. It's the what if.
I reckon he had a few nerves before Logan Paul's fight because he had everything to lose and Logan Paul had everything to gain. No matter if he's a YouTuber or not, he's massive. And like he would have had a little bit like, I don't want to look stupid here or silly at times. And it's the unknown, like you said. I know he would have been a lot more relaxed and he would have fought Manny Pacquiao probably, but it's just that fear of being of the unknown, like you said, yeah. And then
well, if you get beat by Canelo or Manny Pacquiao, it's definitely not embarrassing. Like maybe if you're Floyd Mayweather it is, but like in general, they're like he fought all the best fighters in the world. But as you say, like I even think with Woodley getting in against Jake Paul, like there's that added dimension. Like if I get embarrassed here, do you know what I mean?
It's an ego thing. It's an ego thing. You know, you no matter who you are, everyone has an ego, and you have your own self pride and ego, and it's on the line more than anything, especially in them situations where United are expected to beat Colchester, but they're slightly worried that they're going to. If you lose to Colchester, how does that look? You know, it's the same. So, in my situation, I used to love putting the gloves on. When I tried the gloves and put the gloves on, and you could feel your knuckles, and I knew he had the same gloves on. Weirdly enough, I felt like I know you can knock me out anytime, but I know I can knock you out at any time as well. So this even keel calmness always came over. Once I put the gloves on, I could feel I can say, oh Jesus, there's nothing in these. Knowing for right, in fact, there's nothing in his either. Just that we're on. I can end this at any time. and I don't have to do 36 minutes of work, but I can all finish it. So that was always it, like a weird common sense in my head. Don't know why.
And now you're the Belfast Eddie Hearn, Jimmy. I want you to talk us through the card. So we've got, obviously, first up, we've got Paddy McCrory. Is he they're fighting the Russian Gorakov? If I pronounced it right? Yeah. How'd that fight come about?
I speak to the Russian's manager a few times for previous fights, and we tried to do. He has a few Latvians. He's a Latvian. He's coming over, Vadim, and I don't know how he came about. He sent me your man first, but so he said he had the guy who's WBC International Silver Champion. Have you got anything for him? And just at that time, I'm putting the Féile again. I said, I do, right indeed. Said to Paddy, what do you think of this guy? And I hadn't even had a look at him yet. Paddy replied yes and says, well, I have to have a look at him first. And I looked at him and just said, this is going to be insane. Getting Paddy, I always said to Paddy, I want to get one of these minor belts so we can go to traditional routes and all that there. And he got offered one or two good fights, and he got offered Ultimate Boxer, and he got offered something else, but just wasn't right for him. He wanted a chance to fight in front of his home crowd being one, but a chance to fight for one of these minor belts, which could propel him. It could change his career, basically, puts him in a top 15 ranking and gets him something that other people want to fight him for. Whereas at the minute, when you fight Paddy, what is the reward of beating Paddy McCrory? He's an undefeated Irish guy, but they don't know who he is. He has a belt. He brings something else to the table. But this kind of fight, I think, could potentially steal the show. It's a long shot, but potentially steal the show. This Russian is all action. I mean, he's like, it could be a rock'em sock'em robots fight. He's all action, zero head. I'm just going to come in, just going to throw loads of punches. Paddy can bang, but he can box, but he can bang, and I don't think he'll move the way the Russian will expect. So they may stand and trade it out. I'm very excited. I'm delighted the Paddy's got an opportunity on the stage to put it on. Russians are big backers. Russian TV have bought the rights of the fight because of it. So they have high hopes for their guy. I think they call him Chickpea or something in Russian, because he got a wee small head. But
I can't call me that then.
But listen, I think it's going to be a cracker. I really do. I think it'll kick us off from the TV portion of the card. It'll be, and the reason for it's kicking us off is I think it'll be a fan-friendly fight. And Paddy kicked us off last time against Steve Collins, and I thought it was just right from the opening the broadcast for us.
And he's one of the biggest gentlemen of boxing, so
getting him an opportunity as well like that because of that, I think he deserves it. Isn't it? This is potentially make or break, where he's going to go with his career, and give him the big platform after this. If he has a top 15 ranking with the BC, he could fight anyone in the division. He really has an opportunity to go change his life.
100%. So obviously we've got Macomb as well making his comeback fight. That's gonna be highly anticipated, in Belfast. The opponent he's taking on, Rodriguez, he's no joke. He's a solid competitor.
I'm slightly disappointed on Woodruff getting injured. He's genuinely injured. He hurt his hip. He popped his hip out or something when he was playing football. Be careful, Ryan. So
Ryan had done it.
But like you said, the uncontrollable, that they're so uncontrollable for you.
Yeah.
Being a promoter.
Yeah. Listen, maybe when we finish, I'll tell the stories, even the 2019, how the uncontrollables just 3 days out before a fight, when stuff like that, it is crazy. The things you don't even see behind the scenes. But Woodruff, I thought, was a perfect opponent for Sean, given the fact that he really tested Cully. Mm-hmm. He put Cully on his arse. He nearly had Cully out of there. I believe Cully is one of the best prospects, if not the best prospect in Irish boxing. So it was the perfect opportunity for Sean to, wouldn't say right the wrongs, because the wrongs would be written against Gavin Gwynn if we were going to go there. So it would be just the clear off the doubters, the haters, and he has a lot of pressure on his back that he's going to need to do. So he has a statement that he needs to make. He has, for the first time in his career, more doubters probably than supporters because of what happened against Gavin Gwynn. So he has a lot of questions that he will want to answer. And I'm hearing he's looking phenomenal in camp. I'm hearing that he's a different fighter completely under Pete Taylor, which I'm excited to see. I really believe this is going to be Sean McComb 2.0. He has the mindset now that where he didn't before. He was very had all the skill, had all the technical ability, and he'd done the work. But there was a carefree attitude in terms of how he was going about it, how he was handling his outside of life, how he was handling his family life and his business life, and everything else revolving around that fight. And he thought was just going to be easy, but he's realised the hard way, and this is now a chance for him to rewrite or restart his career, rejuvenate his career, rewrite all the wrongs that had been done against Gwyn and get back into that position against him. Because I truly believe he beats Gwyn. If Sean McComb was on form, he beats Gwyn, and it's built up even better now. That's why Woodruff was the perfect guy, because he's Welsh. All the connections are to Gwyn. Rodriguez offers a lot different problems. You know, he's been to the pinnacle of professional boxing. He's fought Adrian Bruner for the world title. He's mixed at a higher level. He's been in camp. It wasn't. I know we only announced it last week, but it's been maybe 2-3 weeks that he's been ready to go. So he's going to have a lot of problems. He's going to put it on him. He's going to put it on his chest. And like anyone now fighting Sean, where they didn't believe before, they'll believe now because they've seen chinks in the armor. So he's got to go out there and make a statement and make a point that was a blip. That isn't Sean McComb.
Tell us this: will he be walking from his gaff or what?
I think he said he's going to walk from Grubhub.
Yeah, I seen that. He says he might find out first or something. I seen him say something on Twitter about the
COVID regulations.
Yeah, but like he was like, if it's all good, then he's going to walk from the Grubhub.
Love to see it.
There'll be problems there because, well, if everyone's going to, so we're all supposed to be in a bubble. We're all going to be in a bubble. Yourselves will be in a bubble next week with us, and everyone will be tested on Monday and most likely tested again before it. But he'll walk on his own, maybe, no?
We'll walk with him.
You can hold an umbrella for him or something. What if it starts raining?
We'll walk with him.
I'll be doing that for you, so one of us will do
it. Next up,
we could bring him up in the Rook's trolley, like.
The Rook's trolley makes an appearance on here almost every week now, doesn't it? Honestly, epic. Right, next up, Mexican against Mexican. Tyrone. What do you think about this fight? Because obviously we had the Turov pulling out again. That fight, I think, it dead in the water completely now because
it'll never happen. I don't think he deserves it, if I'm honest. Listen, Tyrone is as ballsy as they come. I didn't actually want him to take Turov because I've seen Turov up close. He hits very, very, very hard. But Tyrone is a weird fella. He's balls to burn, and you have to. I'm being truly honest. Like other fighters, sometimes every fighter is different. Like every footballer is different, and every person is different. How you have to communicate and be with them. How you communicate with them is just going to be. You have to handle different. Some people need an arm around the shoulder. Some people need told, crack the whip on them. But Tyrone, you really need to stop him from taking these mad fights. Turov in Dubai was dangerous, but Turov in Belfast, I thought 100% with the home crowd behind him, with a live audience, with the additional time delay, with him not being out of the ring so long, Turov being out of the ring so long, it was working in Tyrone's favour. But the Mexican now, again, completely different. Where Tyrone, I think, had the up on Turov was he doesn't throw much. He's single shots, one shot puncher. Tyrone can weather storms and come back. This Mexican is going to be in his face, and I mean, believes completely he's going to destroy Tyrone. It's another one where you're saying the B side, his thinking coming over here, I'm going to change my career here. It's his career changing chance. WB Intercontinental title on the line. Probably would never have got that in Argentina, in Mexico. Sorry, he's got an opportunity of a lifetime. 29 years of age, and he's had so many fights like he's had. He's mixed it at a high level. They don't come to lie down easily. And as we've seen recently, you don't bring Mexicans over. I hope we don't make a mistake here.
Jamie, just one more as well. It's kind of like going under the radar a bit because of all the home fighters here. Is Lee McGregor's fight. What do you predict on that?
I think Lee McGregor is one of the best talents in UK boxing. I think he's exceptional. He's moving at a rapid rate. Again, Vincent Legrand, 30-0 is quality. I've known him since his amateur days. He used to box for the WSB, for the Italian team. he'll move. I think his game plan will be move. He's a tall southpaw, but he's naturally smaller. McGregor can cut the ring down and potentially get a stoppage, but it's another big step for McGregor. I think it's another big ask for someone who's only had 10 fights. He's like dynamite. To be 118 pounds, I think it's 8 stone 6, and to be how big he is, he's very, very big. Is a tough ask. So he gets himself down right. He's very strong with the weight. They do it very well. Him and Ben Davison have meticulous game plans, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how he handles the mover. Whereas when he fought Griffey, he knew Griffey was going to come and meet him, so he had the game plan was always to go to the body, especially with Griffey struggling so badly to make the weight. But with this guy, he's going to move. They'll look for the body. But I think it's a fantastic fight. A real legitimate European title, the EBU title is a prestigious belt, and to have it here is class.
Obviously, touch on the main one, Mick versus TJ, which is quite possibly one of the best all-Irish fights ever, really. How proud are you even putting that on, getting that going, really, for a night like the Féile as well, everyone, all the fans back in, like boxing's back, really, like to have that on as the headline act, it's such a buzz.
I think it's a phenomenal, it's a testament to both guys that they take it, but both guys, I truly believe, see each other as the perfect step for TJ to get back the world title. Mick is legitimately his best step to get back the world title. He sees Mick as fantastic opportunity to get back to where he belongs in his own head, where Mick sees TJ as a former world champion, a proven world champion, a legitimate world champion, and nearly unified world champion against Danny Roman, a legitimate recognized name in the States. Other fights Mick has had, one thing people don't realize with Michael, I think I said it on the last time, is that the expectation and pressure on his shoulders every fight, no one apart from Katie Taylor probably feels that in Ireland. It's unmatchable. The expectation, he'll go out and flatten someone in the first round. People say he should have worked on something. They'll always have a different thing, because he was at the forefront and in the limelight at the early stage of his career, where he was only developing and learning. People are just going to rip him to pieces. Whereas if you're learning on the undercard, you get to practice it. This is the first fight, I believe, where he doesn't have that pressure and expectation. There is as much people probably saying he'll lose as he'll win, especially in the States, because TJ is recognized as a legitimate world-class fighter. When his fight with Danny Roman was, if it wasn't fight of the year, it was one of the top 5. So it's something that he's relishing. I think people will see the pressures of bringing back boxing, being the light at the end of the tunnel. But in his head, there are so many no pressures is gone, because people will think he's relieved. This guy can win or should win rounds against him. This guy should beat him. He doesn't have that pressure to go out and flatten someone in 2 rounds. He can be himself. Mm-hmm. To put it on in here is the perfect statement. It's the perfect statement for us. It's the perfect statement for Irish boxing. It's the perfect statement for West Belfast to show we are back. Normality is coming back. There's light at the end of the tunnel. Here we go. We've been cooped up in houses for a year and a half, and now we're getting to come out. And what a way to come out to celebrate, kicking off the Féile that in turn and continuously is going to brighten that light at the end of the tunnel, give people more hope that we're getting back to normality. But we're the first to do it. Michael is the headline of the whole festival and the event, and it's special. I gotta be honest, 2019 was brilliant for a reason that boxing was incorporated in the Féile and Mick was incorporated in the Féile, and it's our home. It's our home. It's at the Falls Park is where we live. So that was different. That was that. But 2021, after the year and a bit that we've been through, it's even more special now.
And as you said before we started recording, the best part is that Brawl Boxing are involved in this one. And obviously they weren't in 2019, so...
I actually got goosebumps at the end of what Jamie was saying there. I was like...
I don't know. Sam got me so buzzing there.
Good man, Lloyd. Good man.
Never let this
about.
No, let's just not talk about it.
And Colin is Lloyd, Ori, bitch. Sorry, Ori's assistant.
let's just not talk about it.
No, honestly, I can't even tell you how excited we are to be like honestly, Colin and Ryan's misses don't get a look in these days. Like we're just in our group chat, just like planning shit, like thinking
we appreciate you as well, obviously giving us the opportunity to go to it. Like it's massive.
Oh yeah, you're the man, like behind it all. So I know you're humble, and I know obviously it's mixed event, like, but also you, like you're the strings behind it, and for getting us involved, I can't thank you enough. Like,
listen, it's a West Belfast event as much as we're bringing in the world to look at West Belfast and look at Mick and PJ and everyone else on the undercard. You want to keep as much as West Belfast people doing well, and Brawl Boxing is one of the things that I think we spoke about a good while ago, before we even had started to plan the Féile, or had even it was going to go ahead. That we would get something, that we're going to set something up, and I think it just sets up perfectly, lads. I think the week will be fun. The week will be crazy. Hopefully you'll catch a lot of the craziness with being on site throughout the week, and we kick it off on Monday at the public workout in City Hall. Even City Hall approval again, shows a testament to what we've done in 2019. That we have built something that is recognised and legitimate within City Hall and within in Belfast as a whole. That we are legitimately bringing something back to the city. We're bringing hope again to the city. So you will be there. You will be speaking, I'm sure, to every fighter on Monday. We'll have we'll have the lads in the ring on the Monday, and then throughout the week we'll have the press conference in Balmoral on Tuesday. Wednesday is a day off, and then Thursday the weigh-in. Hopefully we have good weather outdoor in the Devonish. If not, we'll go indoor and we'll do it inside. But it's the excitement, I know, between ourselves, and we're boxing people, and boxing is a very niche sport, but like the missus' sister, when we announced the tickets, she was in the hairdressers that day. Like all the birds in the hairdressers are going. You're going like, I think that's when you're going
100%.
It's a bit big, like Karn in the hairdressers. Who the boxing is? Your wee man. That's how she's explaining. Your wee man from Canning Street.
Wee man who give the finger a thing.
That's like that shows that I think 2019 put a flag up, and this year we're hopefully now we can continue to fly that flag.
100%. Well, finally, Jamie, now that you've left MTK and you've started Conlan Boxing, what does the future hold for you and Mick? Are you even thinking about that, or like where do you want to take this?
The whole thought process at the minute is just solely on August 6th. I haven't even had a chance to think of the future, and I've penciled stuff in and what we're going to do. But I'm sure we can get on after August the 6th, and we can get some exclusives out there, and we get the ball rolling. But at the minute, it's solely Mick against TJ, August 6th, Féile Fight Night in the Falls Park. 8,000 people screaming their heads off, having the best night, and Michael becoming legitimate #1 contender in the world for the 122 crown.
Jamie,
definitely been watching them Matty Hearn videos.
He has been, hasn't he? Well, look here, he just texted me, our lad, saying, I want to watch Love Island. Can we wrap this up? So on that note, Jamie, thanks a million for coming on. I know how busy you are this week. You're flat out. So thanks a million for coming on. We really, really appreciate it.
Legend, Jamie.
Anytime.
Thank you.
See you on Monday.
See you on Monday, mate. Thanks a million.
Rush out her, Ran.
I have hairspray glued to my head and making sure it doesn't go anywhere. I look at the forecast. It's dodgy.
Well, folks, that was it for our episode with Jamie Conlan. Please join us again next week when we're back with another very special guest. A massive thank you goes to That Prize Guy, who has also sponsored the podcast. That Prize Guy is a company who runs competitions daily on their Instagram and Facebook. They're based in Bangor in Northern Ireland, and they have a range of prizes from Range Rovers to Rolex watches and even 20 grand in cash. If you check out their website at thatprizeguy.co.uk, you can enter any of their competitions there. And if you use our code BRAWL20, you'll get 20% off and free shipping. So thanks for the continued support, lads. It's much appreciated. Big thanks to Wow Hydrate, who've sponsored the podcast. They've provided me and the lads with some of their protein and vitamin waters, along with electrolyte drinks, which are the best on the market. Thanks for your continued support. We really appreciate it.
I like to call that white girl problem. Met her back in autumn. Every gift I try to get her, she already got them. Messing with the TA, wonder what she taught him. Work her way down, literally to the bottom. Where are all my best friends? How can I ignore them? Never gonna text them, I am too important. Look at what my dad bought, yeah, it was imported. He took a second loan, cause our family can't